Welcome everyone, join us today as we explore the fascinating journey of MICK Karn, the influential musician whose innovative contributions shaped Japan's music scene. From his humble beginnings to his rise to prominence, MICK Karn's story is one of talent, determination, and artistic evolution. So let's dive in. MICK Karn, born Andonis Michaelides on the 24th of July 1958 in Nicosia, British Cyprus. Karn, born into a Greek Cypriot family, grew up with an older brother and sister. His father earned a living as a butcher, providing for the family in their working-class environment. At the age of 3, Karn's family relocated to London, where he spent his formative years. He attended Catford Boys' School in southeast London, receiving his education under the guidance of William Newman Norton, who would later become the Metropolitan Seraphim of Glastonbury and head of the Orthodox Church in the UK. In his formative years, Karn's musical journey began with the mouth organ at the tender age of 7, followed by the violin at 11. His interest in music deepened as he joined the school orchestra, where he honed his skills on the bassoon. Karn's talent shone through as he performed with the prestigious London School's Symphony Orchestra, showcasing his proficiency on the bassoon in a broadcasted concert in October 1972. However, a setback occurred when his beloved bassoon was stolen, and the school refused to replace it. Undeterred, he turned to the bass guitar, purchasing one for a mere £5 from a schoolmate, marking the beginning of his illustrious career ahead. During his school years, Karn formed a close friendship with David Sylvian and his younger brother Steve. United by their shared passion for music, they sought refuge from the mundane routines of South London by jamming together. Karn, sometimes taking the lead, would front the group as they experimented with Sylvian's simple two-chord compositions. Eventually, Sylvian assumed the role of lead vocalist, solidifying their dynamic. The addition of guitarist Rob Dean further enriched their sound. Their musical journey culminated in their debut public performance at Karn's brother's wedding reception in June 1974. Initially without a name, the band eventually settled on Japan, a temporary choice by David Sylvian that unexpectedly became permanent. With the addition of Richard Barbieri on keyboards, their lineup solidified. Securing a management deal with Simon Napier Bell, who had worked with notable acts like the Yardbirds and Mark Bolan, bolstered their trajectory. Despite finishing as runners-up to The Cure in a talent contest held by Hansa Records, Japan secured a recording contract with Hansa Ariola in 1977. Their sound, initially rooted in guitar-based funk, evolved into an alternative glam rock style reminiscent of icons like Lou Reed, David Bowie, T-Rex, Roxy Music, and the New York Dolls. Shortly after signing the record deal, Sylvian, Jansen, and Karn adopted their stage names. In 1977, the band embarked on their first recording session with producer Ray Singer and performed as the support band for Jim Capaldi and the Contenders on a UK tour. In March 1978, Japan released their first single, a cover of Don't Rain on My Parade, followed by their debut album, Adolescent Sex, a month later. Despite advertising campaigns focusing on their androgynous glam rock image, the band struggled to gain traction in the UK but found success in Japan, where they built a considerable fanbase before releasing any records. The album's UK tour supporting Blue Oyster Cult failed to boost sales, and negative reviews coupled with hostile audiences marked the beginning of their commercial challenges. The follow-up album, Obscure Alternatives, showcased musical progression but failed to resonate commercially or critically. Influenced by artists like Lou Reed, T-Rex, and David Bowie, Japan's albums found success in Japan, the Netherlands, and Canada but failed to chart in the UK. Despite their struggles at home, Japan achieved massive popularity in Japan, selling out the Budokan Theatre for 3 consecutive days during their first visit in March 1979. In 1979, Japan collaborated briefly with Euro disco producer Giorgio Moroder, resulting in the single, Life in Tokyo. Although the track didn't find immediate success, it marked a significant shift in the band's musical direction towards electronic new wave, departing from their earlier guitar-driven sound. This electronic style was further developed on their third album, Quiet Life in 1979, produced by the band with John Punter and Simon Napier Bell. The album, described by the Quietus as defining a European form of detached art pop akin to David Bowie's album, Low, showcased Barbieri's synthesizers, Sylvian's evolving baritone vocals, Karn's distinctive fretless bass, and Jansen's intricate percussion, with Dean's guitar becoming more atmospheric. Despite its initial commercial struggles, Quiet Life became Japan's first album to chart on the UK Albums Chart, peaking at number 72. However, after failing to generate a hit single with a cover of I Second That Emotion, Japan was dropped by Hansa Records, signaling the end of their tenure with the label. After parting ways with Hansa Ariola, Japan signed with Virgin Records, releasing their final studio albums, Gentlemen Take Polaroids in 1980, and Tin Drum in 1981. These albums continued to refine the band's new sound while expanding their audience, inadvertently associating them with the early 1980s new romantic scene due to their stylized visual appearance. Despite wearing makeup since the mid-1970s glam rock era, predating the new romantic movement, Japan's fashion sense contributed to their increasing chart success in the UK. Their re-release of the single, Quiet Life, became their first UK Top 40 hit, reaching number 19 in October 1981. 3 singles from the Tin Drum album also peaked in the UK Top 40, with Ghosts reaching number 5, marking Japan's biggest domestic hit. Tin Drum, produced by Steve Nye, blended Occidental and Oriental sounds, earning critical acclaim and commercial success. In 2011, 30 years after its release, Tin Drum received BBC Radio 6 Music's Goldie Award for the Best Album of 1981. As tensions simmered within the band, Japan's Tin Drum marked their final studio album. Conflicts among band members intensified, reaching a breaking point when Karn's girlfriend, photographer Yuka Fuji, moved in with lead vocalist David Sylvian. With individual members pursuing their own projects, Karn released his debut solo album, coinciding with the band's announcement of their split in late 1982. The success that had previously united them now gave way to personal differences, signaling the end of Japan's journey together as a band. In late 1982, Japan embarked on their final, Sons of Pioneers tour, featuring guitarist Masami Tsuchiya. The tour, spanning Europe, the UK, and the Far East, culminated in sold-out shows at London's Hammersmith Odeon. Their last performance was in Nagoya, Japan, on December 16, 1982. Despite disbanding, Japan experienced commercial success, with their live album, Oil on Canvas, reaching number 5 on the UK Albums Chart. They continued to have top-charting singles, including a re-release of I Second That Emotion. Karn's diverse career spanned session work, solo projects, and collaborations with renowned artists. He showcased his talents by playing bass guitar and saxophone on Gary Newman's hit, She's Got Claws, and contributed to other tracks on Newman's album, Dance. Karn's solo debut album, Titles, coincided with Japan's split in 1982. That same year, he appeared on the Old Grey Whistle Test along with Angie Bowie, the former wife of David Bowie. He collaborated with notable musicians like Michael Finbar Murphy and Midge Ure, contributing to hits like After a Fashion. Karn also formed Dali's Car with Peter Murphy, releasing the album, The Waking Hour in 1984. Throughout his career, Karn lent his skills to various recordings, including projects with Bill Nelson, Kate Bush, and Joan Armatrading. In the 1990s, he explored new avenues, collaborating with artists like David Torn and Andy Reinhardt, and co-founding the multinational band Nina. He played at least one concert with Pete Townsend that featured an all-star lineup that included Phil Collins and Midge Ure. In August 2010, Peter Murphy announced plans for a Dali's Car reunion with Karn, marking their first meeting since 1984. The duo intended to work on a second album in London, but the project was cut short when Karn was diagnosed with cancer. Despite the setback, they managed to record 5 tracks, which were released posthumously on April 5, 2012, as the EP, In Glad Aloneness. The EP features contributions from Steve Jansen, Peter Snapper, and Thomas Bach, with artwork by Yaroslav Kukovsky. Karn's role as the bassist in Japan was pivotal, but his musical talents extended far beyond the bass guitar. He also mastered wind instruments such as the saxophone and even played the Chinese suona on the album Tin Drum, contributing to its authentic Oriental vibe. Karn's signature use of the fretless bass guitar, a less common instrument in popular music, gave his playing a unique and easily recognizable sound. Throughout his career with Japan, Karn favored the aluminium neck Travis Beam bass, transitioning to wall basses in 1981, notably using 2 Mark I models, one with rare African tulip wood facings. These instruments played a significant role in shaping the distinct sonic landscape of Japan's music. In addition to his musical talents, Karn was a versatile artist, delving into the world of sculpture and painting. Primarily working with clay, Karn was self-taught and explored various mediums, showcasing his creations in several exhibitions. His experimentation extended to painting in oils and incorporating ceramic on canvas to achieve a unique 3D effect. Karn's artistic endeavors were not confined to galleries. His paintings adorned the covers of his music releases, such as Boy and The Concrete Twin. One of his notable sculptures, Mask of Confidence, featured in the inner sleeve cover of Kajagoogoo's Islands album, merging elements of Karn's and photographer Yuka Fuji's forms. Inspired by ancient Chinese edible folk sculpture, Karn also ventured into creating life-size edible portraits, some displayed at his restaurant, the Penguin Cafe. His artistic journey evolved over the years, transitioning from self-hardening clay to conventional clay, allowing for larger-scale works and a shift in focus from intricate details to broader expressions. Karn's passion for sculpting remained steadfast throughout his life, culminating in his ability to fire his own pieces. Personally, Karn held 2 diplomas in psychotherapy from a West London college, qualifying him as a member of the Associated Stress Consultants, Psychotherapy, and Regression and Hypnoanalysis. He shared his life with his wife, Kyoko, and their son, Metis. In June 2010, Karn disclosed on his website that he was facing advanced stage cancer, although the specific type was not specified. Despite singer Peter Murphy's suggestion of terminal brain cancer, this detail remained unconfirmed. According to David Torn, Karn's cancer had already metastasized, prompting him to undergo chemotherapy. Karn's announcement on his website highlighted his financial struggles and appealed for donations to cover his medical expenses and support his family. In response, several collaborators, including Midge Ure, Porcupine Tree, and Masami Tsuchiya, organized benefit concerts. The funds raised facilitated Karn's return to London for treatment, but unfortunately, the cancer had progressed beyond treatment possibilities. He passed away at his home in London on the 4th of January 2011. He was 52 years old. And there you have it. Though his time was cut short, MICK Karn's impact on Japan's music landscape and beyond remains indelible, reminding us of his enduring power of creativity and expression for many years to come. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos just like this. Take care and bye for now.